Hello everybody. This is going to be a comprehensive guide for wallbanging. I love wallbanging on Siege. A lot of people call me out for cheats. I don't cheat. I don't condone cheating. I report cheaters on the daily. I usually get anywhere between 15 and 30 people banned for cheating. I hate cheating. Trust me, my stack has heard me scream about cheaters more than enough than most of them probably can handle. Regardless, not even recoil macros, they drive me nuts. Never ran anything like that. What wallbanging really comes down to is knowing head height, crouched, standing, distance, and vertical. Those are all different types of head heights, right? Usually, when I get on, I'll run about an hour of map training with icons on. This will help you learn where people go. I'll share some common angles that I use personally in the game, but this is how I practice. Right? So, just as a tip here, when you're coming around, let's say you're spawning over in the valley. Right? Obviously, watch for your spawn peak here. Right? When you come up, just line up that wall, and then pop your headshot. As you come around, watch for that peak. Right? If you're good, you're good. Here, pop it right there. A lot of the times you can pick off somebody waiting on the balcony to swing. Somebody will sit here, wait for the rappel, they'll swing out and kill, right? Pop some shots through here. You don't get anybody? Swing this way, pop there. People will sit right here, watching CC window. And you might get some kills there. Pre-fire that, right? Get nothing, keep moving, right? A lot of times you'll have ace and, you know, EMPs, everything kind of Thatcher over here, right? If you want to get another angle on this, go to this side here and shoot on an angle. Okay? They even have the AI standing there, right? Very common angle. Another one will be somebody plays behind this pillar. Usually there's a rotate, that's reinforced. Under 90 is reinforced as well. Sometimes even people are here, right? As you're swinging, pre-fire there. Right, as you're coming across, usually you're not approaching this like haphazardly. But let's say you finally take control of armory here, right? A lot of times that's reinforced, footholds. Somebody could be on the desk with a shotgun, somebody could be on the hatch. Somebody may be crouched in the door frame looking out the window. You got half wall, you got the window, you got Africa, right? Somebody be playing here, somebody may be playing here if there's no pressure on top metal. You know, somebody might be playing deep behind the chassis holding the bomb, right? So you just, usually the bomb is here, so you gotta swing a bit further, right? Pre-fire that bomb chassis at head height, you know. And I'll show you a bit of, sorry, I gotta get these markers in here, right? So here's practicing head height, right? Sometimes it takes a few, but there you go, right? This is all I do. That guy's usually crouched. Angle ones are a bit harder because you had to go through 2x4s, but he's crouched. But he's crouched vert, right? So his head height's going to be slightly different. This guy is crouched. Please don't mind my aim. I've done no practice yet today. Usually I've done this before I slide into games. See? Head height, dead. Now they're all dead up here. Right? I have a video. Down on the first floor. Oh yeah. By the way, on test server, you can't drop and shoot. So I got a video. I'm just gonna totally ignore these guys. Maybe I don't know if they're annoying me. So I got a video. Just die. Is he standing? So I got a video where I'm standing here. Before that video, I was in customs trying to clear here, and I heard footsteps. CC floor, right? So I came this way, got rid of the cam, and what happened was, as I was coming there over this way, there was a gunfight with one of my teammates on break door and the person in CC. Right. So there's a couple places he could have been. I was here, right? He could have come out of, usually the rotates here, and I hear this is reinforced. He could have rotated this way. He didn't drop, I would have heard it. Right? He could have been back here, right? Gunfight in the door. Over here, gunfight in the door. Could have been here, popping shots, right? He could have been tucked in, waiting for the push. Could have been up top, open the head glitch, right? Not a great position, but he could have been here. Could have been here, maybe hoping he went that way to fight there, like I showed earlier, right? But there's no way he came out, because I was underneath. I'd have heard him walk. He didn't drop. He could have rotated from CC over to Armory door, but he wasn't spotted, and I didn't hear him because I was standing over there at the time underneath. I didn't hear him across either. Only other spot he could be, standing right here, waiting for my teammate to push east stairs. Now, if you look, this is head height. I came down this way, shot that cam, came over here. Again, head height. See the holes? Might get some kills, might not. I did. He died, called me up for cheating. Right? He was gunfighting east, so somebody is going to be here. Either they're swinging over here, because I wouldn't have been able to hear them where I was, so either they're putting pressure on east, they've got rotates, right? They could have been pushing east stairs, contesting this way. Somebody could have been jumping out of the window here, just pushing, I don't know, right? Came up the stairs, heard them sprinting, they had to rotate, caught the Ella, I saw the other one go in, right? Head height, so you just pop through, right? A great angle, also while you're here, pop that for head height. You will get kills, look where it hits, right? You're right onto, here, right? Anybody kind of holding the angle on the door frame, they're not going to see you, you're prone at the table, or by the table, right? So you get right over to Africa window, right? Boom. Dead. Somebody could be holding here, half wall. Somebody playing hatch, somebody playing table, somebody playing here, right? So many different angles. Somebody could be tucked here. I had a doc in one of my videos tucked here. I could hear him from there. Plus I had an engagement with him earlier. From these stairs, he had a hole like this. I jumped in, got into a gunfight. I could hear him because all of this is open. There and on the other side, right? Swings me, I overswung, and it hit him. I wasn't expecting a zombie to be right on him, hit him, right? And then usually somebody, right? This is head height. There was a warden, right? He came right here, boom, head height, shot, dead, right? Here, right? If this isn't reinforced, sometimes it is. Right? You got somebody playing behind the desk by those skids. This is the test server, so this desk looks a little bit different. But yeah, right? So a lot of wall banging comes down to knowing your maps, knowing what's in the rooms beyond the walls, remembering walls are soft. There's no reinforcements. Shoot through them. So many times, and I got a clip on Skyscraper when I was Jaeger. I was going over into T, and I was running over by Brown Stairs, over by Drum, and I came in. I was just popping a couple of headshots, you know, trying to either force people to shoot back through the walls, because that's another trick you can do. One of my tricks is I will just pop some shots. Let's say I don't know if somebody's here. Pop some shots. Many times people will shoot back, right? Follow their tracers. I got a video of me the other day, actually literally yesterday that I posted. I was in clubhouse top balcony in the garage, right? Tracers were coming through. Somebody was pre-firing. I just follow the tracers, shoot the head, right? You can force people to kind of give their positions away, right? If you don't know somebody's here, pre-fire head height, right? They're gonna be like, oh, try to fight back, try to move back, and then just punish them, right? They've given them away. They've given themselves away. You don't want to just stand here and shoot because you'll get killed. You want to shoot, move, duck, right? And kind of follow where they go, right? He's either going to push this way and be aggressive, which I doubt, or he's going to try to kind of give some relief and go east, right? Or he's just going to vault over if there's pressure this way, right? It's knowing kind of what people... trying to expect what they're doing. Put yourself in their shoes. What would you do if you were on a balcony, you were being pushed? Would you go back to east? Would you be aggressive? Would you vault down? Those are your options, other than going through the window, which is not a great option, but I guess it's another option you could do. But yes, so I got a couple notes here. Just some tactics and tricks that I do. I've already discussed knowing the map. So, for example, here, right? If I come into here, what's in this room? Right? Usually there's a bomb chassis there, right? You've got this, you can see it here, right? It goes down, you've got that there, a little desk, and you've got a big stock desk, stuff on it there. That's what this room looks like. Could be somebody behind the desk, right? Somebody could be holding the bomb chassis. Would be a bad idea from this side. Slam from the window, right? Another angle. Some people like to hold here, right? Pre-fire. But guess what you can also do? If you're in detention, get into detention. Look at that. Okay. Come into detention. Spray that wall. Head height. Headshots. I got a video of me coming down through here. This guy was ratting here. I was trying to hear for him. Diffuser was here. He knew diffuser was there, so he's in a few positions. He's in here. He's in here. He's over at metal far, holding it. He's here. He's here. He's tucked tight. Or he's over here. Right? He knew it was there. Diffuser was there. It was called out. And this is where he's going to be. These are the angles he's going to be at. I mean, I guess he could be here. Right? But you're going for audio. I didn't hear anything, so I... head height. He died. Right? It's about trying to expect where they're going to be at based upon what's going on in the round. Things like your timer. Right? As the timer drops down, let's say you're on defense, as the timer drops down, ticks down, they're going to start having to be more aggressive, pushing sight. Hit those angles. You, as a defender, get to determine where they push from. Right? It's simple as, let's say they're in over in customs, right? You're trying to hold tellers. You know they're in customs. You can hear them. You may have had a teammate who died. You have call-outs, cams, whatever, audio calls. You might have somebody over in workshop that's seen them, calls them out, whatever, right? You don't want them out of this door. Best thing to do, apply pressure, right? You might get wallbangs. Just apply pressure, shoot head height. What you're trying to do is force these guys to rethink their push. You're trying to slow them down from their aggression. You're trying to make them think, right? And you might get kills, right? Some of my clips, it's literally just that. I'm just applying pressure on common areas where they're pushing based upon call-outs or just based upon game knowledge and experience, and you're just slinging shots, right? You got a guy who might be on the head glitch over in CC, right? So you just spray it, see? Right? Like, what cheat is going to show me where head height is on that head, on that little head glitch, right? You just, after years of playing, you just know where these things are. You know where people hold, right? Like, I don't think there's any cheat on the market that highlights, beeper desks in customs on board. You know what I mean? It's about knowing the game. It's about knowing head height. It's about knowing habits of players. The maps don't change really ever. Even in the test server, things are pretty much the same. There's a couple micro adjustments, but it doesn't change much, right? You got head height here. Right? For an example, knowing what's in this room, right? So let's look at this room, for example. You're going to have a table along this way. You're going to have a tall, I don't know, whatever that is. It's like a cabinet or something. Here, right? You've got a hard wall here, you got an archway here, you got a desk, there's a desk here. Sometimes people are standing on the desk, right? Let's say you're free here, last guy's alive. Slam head height up on the desk, right? He might be rotating over it, going to the rotate in bathroom, right? But you see what I was saying, right? You got the desk, and you got the taller, head. Thinking. Right? Knowing where these things are, right? Let's say you're playing in servers. This is just some border examples. I might look up some other maps here in a minute and show some examples, right? But let's say you're playing servers. A lot of teams will do is they will take detention, they will push into supply, and they'll try to take a CC, some CC map control so they can cut off some reps to site. Might take some passport control, may go up into CC, start clearing out, especially the roamers over an armory. But regardless, a lot of the times detention gets taken, right? They're swinging this way, they're trying to peek. Look what they're exposed to, right? If I shoot here, watch. Servers, right? If you have a call out, you hear somebody, whatever, right? Detention. Right? Peek that head height, get some shots in. The amount of times that you'll get a kill pre-firing that, you know, I got guys on YouTube calling me out for cheating, talking about, you know, randomly shooting through walls. There's sometimes random shots, right? Like I said, sometimes random shots, you're trying to make them give up their positions, right? You're just randomly popping head height, right? You might get kills, you might not. Some nights I get no clips. Some nights I get 5 clips. Some nights I get 2, right? My frequency for wallbang clips are so high right now because I had tons of videos in my normal YouTube that weren't getting any views, and I decided just to change everything over to short form, just to try to reach some more audiences, right? I don't have a script, so I'm just trying to structure this in a way that is helpful for me, right? Right? So a couple of my angles, like I said, right? Especially if you're buck, right? This is not reinforced. Come this way, right? Head height at the table. That also goes, as you can see, through the door. Anybody on that half wall, right? Standing, playing the half wall. A lot of times there's a mirror there. When wall's reinforced, if she's not banned, that's popped open so she can shoot feet, right? Head height, slam through it. If this is not reinforced, headshot through it. If that's not reinforced, headshot on the bomb chassis, right? Again, locker's window, right? Pop with buck, shoot, right? You'll see this in my videos a lot of the times. I'm just popping, right? Headshot behind fountain. Sometimes people hold fountain a bit deeper so they can catch the swing, or they can catch somebody jumping in through here. So a lot of the time, somebody's here, right? Waiting to push this side, right? Surprise them, right? Pop it with buck, headshot, dead. And they're like, oh, cheater! No. Right? There's only so many places in a room for people to be. There's only been these places for almost 10 years now, right? So it's about playing the game, knowing it, right? See? Boom. Dead. Headshot. Head height, right? Head height. I don't know if I went over it, because I can't remember. I didn't. So for distance, for example, the further, I got a video of me as Mira on Villa, getting a headshot on 90. I had a teammate call out 90. Right? I think he called it last 90 or something like that. But see head height here? Right? It's not a great example. It's not too far. Villa from 90 from statue is a pretty long distance. But head height will kind of drop a little bit the further you go away. Right? So it's about knowing your angles, knowing how long the angles are, knowing if somebody... knowing if the angle, like sometimes people stand on here to get an angle here. If you're in tellers, right, your head height is going to be you know, if you're gonna want to crouch and then pre-fire up here underneath that headshot, right? If they're taking passport and you're on defense, sit here, you hear the breach go off, right? Head height through that wall, you can hear them enter through these little holes, right? Head height. You know, there's just so many angles, right? If they don't have this reinforced, which they should, as you're swinging in, right? Spray some shots, right? There's that half wall inside the office there, right? Come this way. Right? I was a little off, but you have that angle there, right? Pre-fire that. Over on the door, see? Right? You might swing by this way. This wall, usually, a lot of times this is reinforced and there's a rotate here. But if it's just soft like this because your teammates just wanted to go spawn peek with Doc, or their teammates wanted to go spawn peek with Doc, and it's just soft, slingshots east, right? You hear a call out, right? You got Valk cam, whatever. Somebody is over leaving break onto courtyard, or onto waiting room balcony, right? This will take you onto the balcony, right? If you're trying to push this door here, right? You can pre-fire out that door. Somebody's calling break door. Pre-fire, pre-fire. Stay behind this columns. That's where the window is, right? You're not going to get hit. Obviously, watch your east door, right? If you want to get a good rotate, right, and you got impacts, pop your impact, and then spray through the wall there. Change up your head height angles, right? Change your angles at your wall bang. You know, again, a lot of the times I'll play right here. With Doc, I'll have this popped open, and you can see underneath the door frame. So I'll play this position a lot, right? You shoot here. That is going to be outside. Passport door. You will get headshots from anybody coming up into passport, right? And then sometimes you'll see them slip past, right? Pop here. Pre-fire here, right? Anyways, I'm going to load up a different map. I'm going to look over my notes again, make sure I got all of what I was sharing. So you've got, oh yes, what I was talking about Jaeger, for example. So you remember I was saying I was popping shots on Skyscraper. I ended up, somebody ended up coming up drum stairs. And I was even shooting into Geisha because I didn't know if somebody was in Geisha. I was just baiting for tracers. So the guy heard me over my T entrance, and he swung me from the brown stairs to T. I missed my shots, but I also shot back, right? So let's just say we're in Skyscraper, right? This is the hallway. This is Geisha, whatever, right? I'm over in T door, popping my shots as Jaeger. Let's say it's here. Just because it's easier. It's a bit shorter. It's easier, right? So I popped the shots. He went that way. He's either going to go down the stairs or he's going to go to drum, right? So you push. He runs. You can hear him sprint, right? Punish him, right? Wallbang that retreat. That's why I named the video, right? I have that as the video. You're aiming shots. I got another video where somebody called me out for cheating on Coastline. I was in CoastGuard. And it was called Bulletproof Chairs. I could hear him approaching from my right in printer. And so I tried pre-firing, right? He ended up being aggressive on me, pushed me. And I whipped my shots. Just trying to put a bit of pressure off that door so I could get a better angle on my engagement, right? He instantly stopped being aggressive and then retreated, right? And so what I did is after I shot, I put pressure on that door, and then on the wall next to him, he was dead. He was either pushing into my pre-fire or he was pushing into my other pre-fire through the wall. So either way, he was pushing a pre-fire front or back because I put him in a position where he had to make a choice, right? So that's a lot of what it is. It's pressuring your defenders or your attackers to make them make a decision so they're not just ratting and sitting there. Walls are shootable. So many people forget that they are. Force them to make moves. Punish them when they move. You know, you got old angles from here, you know, shooting into into even half wall you can get from here. But your lockers, your Africa, you know, you can hit it from here. You got a let's say you got somebody who calls out somebody's on east stairs holding the spawn peak and the run out onto the balcony, right? You just pre-fire head height, you might get a kill, right? You can even pre-fire head height this way, somebody holding the top of the desk, you know. There's just so much that you can do, so many pre-fires, right? Even this way, let's say, it doesn't even have to be Buck, it can be anybody, right? You can come up, pre-fire through the floor, somebody under half of it, right? There's just so much that you can do, you know. Let me load up a couple other maps here. Map. A couple of my spots, especially the one that I was called out for checking on. Let's go to Outback. So and let's do it with Mira. If she's not banned, I Mira main on, especially on Outback. But I will show you. Which will hit piano. This is my Mira setup. It's a bit unconventional, but I like unconventional things. You know, sometimes I'll play one here. You know, usually we'll rotate, make it rotate here, reinforce, or either way. You know, it doesn't really matter. At least for us, it doesn't. We just do what we do. So I'll reinforce this side. Sometimes I'll play the soft wall side. All depends. But usually I'll reinforce, slide over, because you want your mirror window as tight as you can to the end of the reinforcement. Right. Pop open, and then I will open up everything, literally everything, this whole wall, all hit height, lined across. Sometimes I'll leave it soft here if I'm trying to go for a wallbang clip and I'm just popping through. If we want to win, I open it. Get rid of that. Game's window, right? And actually, what I want to show you, for starters, this is bull, right? People will come through the breach, come out into the hallway of bull, right? Head height. Right? You can hear them on shark cam, so we might have a teammate on shark cam, somebody might shoot shark cam. If somebody does shoot shark cam, right? Pre-fire into picnic on top shark, right? Usually these walls are wide open. Sometimes I'll leave it soft if I'm trying to, you know, get a clip or something. But a lot of the times I'll just pop through these. Here, nobody's really going to push up to this door frame and just shove their face in it. A lot of the times they're going to come out from the office, go in behind the bull, right? And so if you hear them, you can even be kind of crouched and then pop up your shots on bull and get some picks on them, right? Another angle that I like to do, if I'm not playing this side and I'm playing it soft on this side, is through this wall. It's easier when looking at it from this angle. From this wall, if you shoot through here, there's that other soft wall, and then just about here is the door frame into the office. Right? I got a video clip of me wallbanging a guy in office. We had a teammate died. He literally just got into engagement and died there. So I pre-fired the wall. I missed a couple times, I guess, and then he ended up dying. You know, so this is my typical mirror setup, and then we'll have the other one here. Don't use it against me. It's the secret. Don't tell your neighbor. The other one that I'll run. So I switch this one up sometimes. Sometimes I just reinforce this one, leave both sides soft. If I want to play a bit more aggressive this way, I still have my aggression this way. But let's just, for example, play the game. Keep these two soft. I don't love this one because a lot of times I can get pushed from shark and I really have to like hold tight angles to fight them off. You know, but regardless, I play it to the left side. Just a bit nicer to fight games. Here, and I'll open up games wall. Now what I want to show you is one where I get a lot of clips from. Right? If you aim right there, you are going to get headshots as Mira, as anybody. You can put an impact here. You can play from far back, dock with an ACOG, whatever. you're going to get kills in piano. I have so many wallbang headshots from piano, especially when they pop that camera, right? If you're here and things are quiet, you hear that camera go, wait a second or two, pop, pop, dead, pop, pop, right? You might have teammates who are on cams. They call out, oh, piano, piano, right? You have piano, boom, right? Headshot. I got one that I posted the other day where I was fighting a Zofia in this door frame, right? He's pushed. I tried to catch him going into the bathroom, missed him, and then he was here again, and then he went over to piano. I missed, and then I hit the headshot because he decided to rotate piano that way. I'll show you what that angle looks like from their end. They might come in, take picnic, they might take piano, like I killed a Blackbeard who was there. I heard Blackbeard shoot the cam out. I didn't know it was a Blackbeard, obviously, at the time. But he comes in, shoots the cam out, and comes this way to peek, and look at these shots. This is where they're coming. They're coming from piano this way. And this is why this is such a good angle, because they're coming this way. They can't see, because this is all hard. So they want to get this deep angle into games to see if anybody's here, right? They're going to check here. They're going to check if anybody's ratting here. And then they're wanting to cut the pie this way. Look at their headlines up. Literally all the time. If they're pushing games and they're coming from piano, aim here, you are getting kills. I guarantee it. 100% you're getting kills from there. Right? Great angle. I use it all the time. This is obviously not always reinforced. If you're playing over a party, right? Yeah, you got clocks ticking down. You get teammates in garage. You got a teammate behind you. Maybe one on top shark. Nobody hears anything. Two guys are waiting. They've ratted all around. They've sat on rappel. They're coming from here. They're either coming piano. They're coming from bathroom. They're pushing games if nobody else has any sound cues, right? So what you're going to do is you're just, late round, you're just going to pop shots through the walls. I got videos of me, I almost killed one guy. I got a wallbang because somebody was in piano there. And then nobody was in the window. They weren't going to jump in door, so they're coming. Either they're still going to come from piano, or they're going to come from bathroom, right? So you just get your pre-fires off, and you will get kills. I guarantee it. Right? So that's a mirror setup that I run on this map that I get quite a bit of clips from that people call me cheaters for. Another one was a popular video. On Shark, I was zero. I was standing here. What you don't hear in the video because I had to clip it, there was a Valk on camera, off camera, on camera, off camera, on camera, off camera. She was not pushing, right? I could hear her in this door getting on and off because it's open here, right? He's not pushing, he's not pushing, he's not pushing. I'm waiting for him to push, right? I'm holding, obviously, this angle so I don't get swung from a bit far back. But he's not pushing to peek, right? So if you go this way and you aim here, where I originally thought he was, I thought he was crouched in this door frame. This is why this is going to be important. I'll have to show you kind of, the bomb site isn't here, but I'll show you anyway. I thought he was crouched because a lot of times you'll get people who will contest, especially if this wall's open, they'll contest games crouched here. Sometimes standing, right? But regardless, when you're down on the stairs, like I was talking about verticality, right? You're going to want to be shooting up like this, right? If you're crouched, you're going for your head height. See? If he's standing, if he's crouched, I thought he was in the door frame. I thought he was playing right here on his Valk cam. And I don't know if maybe he was looking at Shark or looking into games. I have no idea where his cameras were. But he's going to try to be aggressive so they don't take party, right? Turns out what he was doing, and some people will also hold this, is they'll be on the bomb chassis, right? And they will be holding a head glitch for the push on Shark, especially if the time's running down. They're holding a head glitch on the bomb chassis. By the way, always pre-fire bomb chassis. People's heads, that is head magnets. People put their heads on bomb chassis. I got a video when I slammed Swifted Stack on Coastline. You know, I tried a couple shots. They took full control of billiards. Somebody's planting default, right? As soon as they get billiards, they're going to be planting default. It's just going to happen. And so if you're in hookah, shoot through the wall to the head glitch on the on the bomb chassis, you'll get kills. He wasn't there the first spray I popped, so I swung a bit right, and at that point he was there, got a kill on him, he was dead. You know, there's just little tips like that. Shoot head height, pre-fire bomb chassis, know your head heights, crouched, standing, distance, vert. Let's go to maybe another map here. Let's go to skyscraper, I guess. I know this is a long video, but I just did want to share some tricks because people are mad. They think I'm cheating. I'm not cheating. I hate cheaters. Actually, let's go cafe first. Trust me, my teammates hear enough of what I have to say about cheaters on the game. So let's go into here. I think I switched over to attack, which I did. Good. Let's go Ash. Show you some of my pre-fires that I do on cafe. I've got a couple of clips on cafe. So we're coming this way. Get your camera from here. I have a video of me one-tapping a teammate by accident. Sorry, I told it out. Anyways, you get your spawn peek. You got your run out. Sometimes even if they're being really gutsy, they'll run up this way. Usually that's for that one, but sometimes if they don't get it, they'll peek this way anyways. And then you got here. So watch your spawn peeks. I have a recent video. Every single time I spawn, first of all, every single time I spawn on cafe, I swing the door and I try to pre-fire into bakery. I got a video called what I call that one? I don't know, bakery wallbangery or something like that. It was stupid. Regardless, come up here, pre-fire the wall. This is on to mining. And if they're not reinforced into train, you can even get headshots into train from here. I got a kill like yesterday or the day before on that angle. Sometimes if I don't take that route, let's say I've already done that a couple times, I'll swing this way, pre-fire through this wall. This will kill it. A lot of times people play underneath the balcony there, under default plant up in cocktail up in bar, and they'll play around this area by the pillar. Over here you're going to have a pillar, a desk next to it. Again, it's so important knowing what's behind these walls, right? You've got bookshelves, a desk, a pillar, another pillar, right? People will hold head glitches on that pillar, right? You've got your big old like mining thing here. You've got your door frame into train, right? Some people have a hole here. Another good angle you can get to is here. If you're coming this way, right? Pop some shots through. If you're doing this way, they might swing because they get super confident and punish their swing, right? Another good one. Somebody's on pixel up top here. Hit this here. Shoot through the cocktail desk. People on pixel or behind the couch because you got pixel here. You got a couch there, table. Headshots. I don't have any clips of me landing anything there yet, but you will at least put pressure up onto pixel and hopefully get them to rotate out or try to expose themselves. Your guy playing white there can get a kill. Right. Stand further back. Sometimes you can just bang that. It's better with a DMR on this angle since you just more damage. You pitch people rotating. You won't be able to do this in Siege X, but in the current one I can't show you here. Another common pre-fire too is if they're playing behind the desk on Heaven, as you're dropping, right, drop and then pre-fire it. See? Like I don't have a cheat showing me where this desk is, yet I aimed right on top of that desk while dropping. You know, I've done it 1,000 times. That's just how that works, right? Come up this way many times if you're coming up here, right? Somebody's playing Cigar Office, right? Or behind here, you got Pixel. I got a clip of me coming this way, up over the little cocktail bar and cigar lounge, right? And sometimes people are playing on the door of bathroom. They're playing here on bathroom. If you shoot here, actually, a lot of times they'll have their rotate built right there, right? So pre-fire, you might catch them, that wall we opened in behind, you might catch them rotating either from bathroom into here. If you're putting pressure this way, they might rotate into here to get a different position. You got a wall, you might be catching them rotating onto white stairs. Sometimes they'll be playing a bit more aggressively. I killed the tuber out here. I think I was Bandit, right? Headshot, right? playing a bit aggressive in stock, they'll be playing here, here, at the rotate, or at the other rotate. Sometimes they'll be playing here, waiting to here, they'll hold, maybe they'll have a mirror window here, and already a hole here, you know, pre-fire, dead, right? Here's what I was talking about, right? They get a call, oh, somebody's cigar lounge, they're swinging, boom, like, they're dead, because you're pre-firing them, right? Another good pre-fire, right here. Very popular video of mine, I got a one tap here. You know, came in, cleared heaven, not the camera, this. Came here, cleared heaven, hit the camera, came this way, and then this wall here is where the cocktail rotates are, where the people are coming into cocktail, right? Headshot. Right? What I was planning on doing was actually coming in and then fully pre-firing that, but somebody came this way. I don't even know who they were because I died to them. I thought they were on the left side. Obviously, I didn't clip me dying because it would have been boring. But we had a Aurora barricade here, and I heard it open. So as I'm coming this way, I come over, and then it starts opening to my right. So I popped just to get it off, and then tried to reposition to see where he was. I thought what this guy would have done, I thought he would have come up. I thought he would have come up close, hit it, and then went for a long peek. Turns out he was actually just ratting here the whole time, and we just didn't drone him, I guess. But yeah, so that is that clip there. You know, you just pop a couple shots there. Right? People sit there. They're waiting to hear white stairs. They're waiting to get an angle onto heaven. Right? Trying to swing to get an angle up onto cigar. Right? You'll get kills. Same thing. Coming in this way. Right? Pre-fire. Right? That is the door to heaven. People will play behind. I play a mirror here with a rotate. But people will play the cocktail table there, and they'll rotate in and out of heaven, right? Pre-fire, the wall, hit height. You will get kills. Kitchen. I had a guy flexing that he's been top 80 in the world. Congrats, bro. I'm just joking. But you were pretty mad. You know who you were. Anyways. I'll show you this from the attacker's point of view. I got also clips of me doing that. I got clips of me wallbanging from that side out and this side in. Right? Get into dining. They're just everywhere. My hand, bro. Anyways, take over here. Free fire here. This goes. I'll actually open. I'll open it right up. At least this one. And I'll show you how I look from the other side. You'll see a soft wall behind me here. See that soft wall? That goes all the way to the end of sight. All the way to the end of sight. If you don't get anybody in the door rotating to push you here, you may get somebody through here. See? Look. It goes all the way over here. You can literally stand at the back wall of, or the front wall of kitchen site and kill people and die. Right? So I had a teammate. He was sitting here. He heard the enemy over on this side of the bar. So I was over here. I can't remember what I was doing. I was just trying to hold some kitchen prep pressure. And he calls bar. So I come this way, and I pre-aim the bar door to see if he swings. And he said he still heard him bar. So if you come this way, shoot this wall out. Head height behind bar is right there. How I knew he was standing? First of all, my teammate was right here calling him out. Second of all, I don't even know if he was here or here. He was probably here. Yeah, he was probably here trying to hold here. Anyways, or he was here trying to get an angle down on. He was probably here trying to prep or watching code or watching red. Regardless, we had no pressure on him in dining at all. Nobody blue, nobody this way. He's not crouched, right? He's a good player. He's champ. He's not just sitting here baiting crouched, right? He's moving, he's rotating, he's checking his angles, he's coming up. This wall was obviously hard. He might be getting a close angle on the white stairs or the small bake, whatever. He's moving. That's the point. He's not just crouched here, anchored down. That's not how champs play. That's not how pros play. That's just not what they do. They're usually moving, right? And so that was my first choice was head hut. Calls out bar. I come over, open the hole, hit bar. He's dead. Now I'm a cheater apparently, right? These are the things going on in my mind as these wall bangs happen. You know, skyscraper. I'm not going to go through all the maps. This is going to be an hour-long video. But I'm going to look back at my notes here real quick. I want to make sure I get everything here. Talked about cams, calling out cams, teammate callouts, sounds, playing your angles, knowing the angles. The teammates' positions is another thing, right? Like I was saying on Outback. Where are your teammates playing? If your teammate dies, you know there's an enemy over there. If they're randoms, they don't give callouts, you at least still know, okay, there's pressure coming from that side of the map. Put pressure back on them by shooting through the walls at head height, right? Let's go to trying to think of some other consistent pre-fires. Let's do bank. I know this is a long video. Anybody who's still staying here, watching, thank you so much. I don't do these sort of videos very often. I planned on doing a whole editing and all this stuff. This is totally unedited. As you can see, my aim's been off, my aim's been on. I worked all day, my arms are swollen. I'm not really focusing on what I'm doing because I'm trying to share this information to you, and I'm just kind of mindlessly aping through as I do this. So thank you for staying. Appreciate it. I'll show you some angles here. I've been playing this angle for years when it's on open area. Come here, this window here. Shoot this wall out. Right. Obviously, you're not going to do this with Ash. I usually run an LMG. I usually run a DMR here. Sometimes I'll run it with Ash if I'm just going to run my breaching charge. If I'm just want to do Ash things. Of course, it goes through that barricade. I couldn't do that if I tried. Again, unedited. You see right into the kitchen. Anybody's playing that table or behind the table, right? But you don't have to open this, right? Come over here with the DMR, pop up, right? Slam a couple shots with your DMR, get off the wall, right? A lot of times people are playing elevator. They don't have this reinforced if it's a downstairs site. Free fire right there, you will get headshots. They are standing here waiting to see people come through here or trying to hear lone office entrance. Pre-fire, head height, you will get kills. I got another one. You can actually run in this. Another one right here. People will stand here in archive behind the wall because this is safe. There's obviously you got your rack in behind here. Head height, you're getting kills. Right? You can even do it here as well. Sometimes I'll just sit here and I'll just come through a couple pot shots through first floor elevator. Might get a kill, might not. Like I said, I might have mentioned this before. I usually dedicate 1 to 2 full magazines of random wall bangs, random head heights, crouch standing. Once those 2 mags are done, I leave the rest for gunfights because you don't want to be caught with no ammo. Actually, I don't be caught with no ammo because I want to wall bang so often. I like the wall bang clips. It's fun, right? Even here, if this is soft, wall bang onto the desk. One that I play with Mira quite a bit. I play my Mira on meeting wall, and I look into stock. Oh, they have it. Okay. It's kind of hard. Anyways, if I'm playing Mira here, what you'll notice is right here on the wall, I'll play this reinforced, and then I leave this soft because you can see that when they're coming up the stairs, we'll have a guy in an elevator, usually a Valk. He'll call up banana stair. As soon as he calls banana stair, because I'm crouched, see? That's where head height is. I will pre-fire the bottom of this floor, and you will catch them coming up banana. Right? Yes, these look random. they looked super, super random. I had a commenter trying to call me a cheater and was pretty aggressive in the comments, which is okay. I get it. Siege is full of cheaters. It's infuriating. It's a reason I don't play ranked, because you're just gonna die to cheaters all the time. It's not fun. It's boring. You know. Anyways, that's besides the point. A lot of the times too, we'll play rotate here, and then we've got the right side of the office open here, right? If this is soft, right? Shoot through that wall, shoot through that wall, shoot through that wall, and what that will actually take, top square will be right there. Somebody calls top square, right? You just laser shots top square, right? They're not gonna want to keep pushing top square, you know. Another angle I use a lot actually when I'm defending open area. Lone office. Somebody calls out lone, right? They're on cams default. Pre-fire there. When you're here, hold the printer. Pre-fire there. You can already see the window. Pre-fire there. Dead. Right? You're coming, let's say you're attacking. Right? I'll pre-fire that. It's not reinforced. Pre-fire that, and then I get my angles. Sometimes you can even pre-fire small office here. Whatever, right? You're just popping shots. You're hoping to get lucky. You're hoping to, and even if you don't get it, even if you don't get a kill, you're putting pressure on it. That's the whole philosophy. You're putting bullets through the walls. So many people are afraid to shoot their gun. So many people think Rainbow Six Siege is Splinter Cell. It is not. It's not a stealth shooter. If your bullets aren't giving you away, cameras are giving you away, audio is giving you away, teammates dying is giving you away, sightlines are giving you away. People know where you're at in the game. Shooting your gun is, yes, it'll give you away, but a lot of the times what it'll do is it'll make people feel overconfident. They'll push you and you punish them, right? When I'm last alive, I try to take every gunfight that I can. That's how I play. I'll come over, I'll pre-fire, I'll push, right? I'll come in, I pre-fire this wall, I pre-fire this wall, I pre-fire this wall, right? You don't pre-fire this wall because that goes right into the back office, right? Hell, I pre-fire this, I pre-fire the rotate, I pre-fire the top of marble. If I get a call, their elevator pushing me, pre-fire marble, right? A lot of times that's open. I pre-fire in a janitor, you know. When I'm last alive, I'm very aggressive because I want to push these people out. I don't want them ratting. I want them confident. I want them pushing me. I want them making mistakes. I want to push 1v1s, and I want to try to get them as quick as I can, because if you're trying to kill 3 people, you know, you got a clock that you're fighting against. You're not going to go get a defuse, so you have to get kills, right? You need to force these 1v1s to happen so that you can win the round, or you just die. But at least you tried. You didn't rat. You didn't run away. You didn't sit on the roof. You didn't bait. You just pushed them. You did your best. You know, you died. Whatever. Not the end of the world. Is what it is. Right? Play the game. Push. Die. Repeat. Right? Anyways, I'm going to look over my notes again here for the final time. Actually, let me go into Skyscraper real quick. Give you an idea. I got pre-fire spots literally on every map. Coastline. Let me do Coastline. I got some good clips on Coastline. Skyscraper, there's like 2 or 3 that I kind of practice. There's one that I got a clip on. I don't even know who it was. They came through laundry. They threw some smoke, and so I was waiting for them to push. There was no audio. I ran over to the soft wall, waited about 2 or 3 seconds. I didn't hear them by the window, so they weren't pushing through laundry into the little reception area. So I figured they were going to be pushing the little pantry in behind the bar. And so I pre-fired head height. Obviously, they're not going to ape right away. You wait a second or 2, pre-fire headshot, height. He died. Again, that was my thought process when that... that was my thought process as I was getting that clip. my game, bro. Anyways, if they don't have VIP reinforced, it's obviously easy. Here. Actually, there might even be a dummy there. Let me see. So once you get this breach open, this is 90. I'll show you where. Let me shoot it first. Right. You come this way. Free fire here. You actually see where my bullets are. A lot of people play right here because they are trying to hold off the hookah push. A lot of times it'll be in a zombie. She'll have or a shield, right? Barricades, and they are trying to hold this push, keep control of 90. I guarantee you, you make a habit of shooting this wall right here, you will get kills. I'll show you that one in a second. Right? Okay, you will get kills. You can even catch them rotating out of sight too. Right? Another pre-fire on this way. Right? You're gonna be shooting into games here. Or billiards. Right? Head height on billiards if they're holding that angle. Let's say you're last alive, you're Buck Ash, whoever, it doesn't matter who you are. Really. They know you're not in ruins, they get a call out, you're a VIP, right? Holding a head glitch on the pool table. Dead. Right? Again, a bomb chassis here, desk here. It all depends on, there's a lot of different setup people do here. But regardless, you know, crouch height, head height, anybody behind the bar. So this is default plant, billiard site. People will come, they'll plant behind the chassis. A lot of the times, as they're trying to kind of take control of as they're trying to take control of like white stairs, trying to take control of luggage. You know, this guy will just kind of hold before he gets his plant off so he doesn't get pushed. Sometimes you'll have a guy here putting a bit of pressure on, maybe taking a cool vibe fight. You know, regardless, you're here to plant. Pop smokes, whatever. They pop smokes, or they're holding. I got a video against Swift and Stack where I came in through the rotate. And the chassis is here, so I'm trying to use the chassis as some cover. So I'm playing my angles back here, right? Playing my door, pre-fired this wall, right? Look, it goes into that room using my bullet, right? You hear them pushing the door, pre-fire wall. This is the chassis. Once I get it open, right? Pop there. The chassis goes up like this. It's about this high, right? And then you got your head, little head sitting right there, right? I came in, popped a couple shots at the head height on the chassis. He wasn't there, so I took my what am I saying? Excuse me. Brain fart. That's what I'm thinking. So I took my fight this way. And pre-fired him through the wall, and he was holding the chassis, right? And then what happened was I knew he was going to plant default, the last guy, because it's a 1v1. He's got full sight control. He's just going to push default. He's not going to plant anywhere else. So he threw his smoke. I waited for the plant to go off, and I waited a second, because I figured he might sit, try to catch me. And then I popped a couple shots. He wasn't there. He was already out. He popped his smoke. I came through my rotate. And I was waiting, and a lot of the times they will hold from the left side there, an angle. And so what I did was I just shot where this would be. I ended up body shotting him. Turns out he was right here. I don't know why he was standing in the smoke, but he was. I ended up body shotting him. I didn't even know I body shotted him. I came to look, because sometimes if they're not there, they're there, or they're holding a tight angle. Heck, they could even be around here. But regardless, these are the first angles as you're coming around the corner, you're checking here, and then you're checking here, right? And so I saw him down, came over, gave him the business, diffused, and then got screamed at. You know, it is what it is. Knowing where people plant, where people move, where people sit, where people can't, head height, chassis. There's so much to it, you know. I got a guy saying cap, this and that, I cheat. There is so much to this game. There are so many angles. Learn them, right? And play the game. Have fun, you know. Don't be afraid to shoot through the walls. Worst case scenario, they shoot back. You see their tracers, and they're dead. Follow their tracers. Look where they're coming from. Shoot in that area. Shoot head height. They're dead. Right? I'm just looking over my notes here. I think that's everything, you know. I'm not going to go into every single map, show every single spot. But, as I say that, I'm going into Clubhouse. I know, this video is probably going to be like an hour long, but what I'm trying to share is that this is my hobby when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege. Some people like to play and rush like Snappy. Some people like to rappel upside down on a window all around and sit there while they scroll on YouTube Shorts. Some people rage quit. You know, some people sit on map training all day. Some people like to sit on drones. Some people like to be aggressive. Some people like to be passive. I like to go for wallbangs because I think it's funny content. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny when people think I'm cheating. The game is boring. There hasn't been a whole lot of changes, and so I make it fun for myself by trying to just have fun, get some wallbang clips. Like I said earlier, I might get none. I might get 6. You know, when you play 250 games in a night or 200 games, whatever, you know, you're bound to get some kills if you're using the tactics that I'm showing you here. And a lot of it also, you're not going to be good at it overnight. I've been practicing for like a year wallbanging. I already had the game knowledge prior from playing, right? But really dedicated myself to practicing wallbanging is, I've been doing it for about a year now, practicing, right? Anyways, when you come up on Clubhouse and you're taking hot tub, as you get up, pre-fire dirt. A lot of the times you're gonna either they'll already have a punch hole or don't mind that. That's annoying. Please fix that. Ubisoft. Anyways, a lot of the times there'll already be a punch hole here. They might have impact nade open here to catch spawns here or to peek out onto hot tub. Regardless, if it's not, pre-fire it. A lot of the times it's right here. It's not out here. They don't make it far, really. Some people do if they want to get a deeper angle, but it's a lot more risky because if that's there, there's a lot of travel space that they have to run off on. Regardless, pre-fire it. Kills. Right. Let's say you're trying to take CC and cash. Right. Let's say you get top red and gym control. I will pre-fire the head height into construction. A lot of the times they're not close. They're holding the angle on a bit further, right? If this is soft, right in here, you got a table with a bunch of drugs on it. You got the bomb chassis. You got another table. You know, all head glitches. There's going to be enemies up here shooting at. And this is what I like about this format. This is organic. This is what a lot of my wallbangs look like before I take my clip. I'm pushing, right? And I miss half a mag. But then I'll reload, recuperate, come back in, pop. Right? You guys don't see that prior stuff because that's boring to watch. I clip, obviously, what looks good, what's fun, what's nice. You know, a lot of content creators talk about how they cherry pick and how they edit for the better portion of their videos. I'm not like that. I will edit the kill. I don't do a whole lot of the prep beforehand because it's boring. Nobody wants to sit there for 60 seconds watching me shoot at a wall and not get kills. They want to see people getting wallbanged. Or they're just wanting to get angry at me for wallbanging. That's fine too. Again, this is so common. Coming over, head height on highway. You will get kills, especially if you have teammates playing gym and they're calling out highway. Swing from here, swing from there. Kills. If you spawn here, careful for your spawn peaks. Right? Come around. Pre-fire. Sometimes they literally have it open like that and they're just aggressive with a dock or somebody and then they'll reinforce once they get the pick and they are gone. Right? You are now down 5-4 and your team is mad at you because you were just aping. Right? You check that. You check your window. Bottom corner. Right? You're good. Here. Check your door. You're good. Another place you can pre-fire. A lot of rats. Test server, those are broken. A lot of rats sit here and they wait for you. They'll look through these little grates. Pre-fire. Right? As you're running by, sometimes they're just sitting here. Run, switch, pre-fire, run away. Right? Up here, you see me get a lot of... Oh, it's already open. You get a lot of kills. If this is soft, come over. Pre-fire the corner. Right? Line up this little thing here. And just below it. Kills. Right? Get a bit tighter. That goes into sight, onto the chassis. Right? Another one. People spawn peek from this door on the main entrance. Either they're waiting here, or they're waiting here, or they're hearing for here. They're a common spawn peek. Come out of shipping dock. Shoot right here. I guarantee you, if they are spawn peeking, they are dead, and they are calling you a cheater. 100%. It's easy. Dead. You're playing hot tub, you're on rappel, get a claymore, right? As you're here, you know, you're trying to put a little bit of support, do some work on the wall. Pop some shots into strip. Head height. You'll be surprised how many people are sitting there with an impact grenade waiting to pop it out and shoot you in the butt. Right? You'd be surprised how many people are sitting on this window if you're pushing in, because a lot of times they will jump out of it, kill you, and then run back into kitchen. Pre-fire it. I have a video of me pre-firing that. I didn't get a kill there, but I pre-fire it all the time. When you come in, pre-fire your door. People are aggressive on kitchen, especially if there's nobody on the fence repelled. Right? They're aggressive. They're trying to hold here. They're pushing in. Every single time you come into kitchen, swing, pre-fire head height. And if this wall's soft and they're playing behind the bar, I'll show you where they are. They're literally standing here. Right? They're trying to hold bar or bathroom, or they're swinging here. Even if you don't get them swinging the door and somebody's playing the bar, they are dying. Right? You can pre-fire here. People are usually, sometimes they will, because that's also down. Right? They will shoot out these little bottom parts of the barricade. That's going to be where head height is. You're playing by stage. You got footholds, right? Pre-fire, you're going to get headshot kills. I know, trust me, I know this is a long video. Right? But what I'm trying to show is, just because somebody might think somebody's cheating doesn't always mean they are. Right? There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that goes into my mind about where these people are. Where have they been? I've died a billion times in this game. Where did I die from? Where did they hold? Right? Let's say, okay, you're pushing here. Pushing this door. Right? Let's say you have all full control. Where are they going to be? Right? They're going to be behind bar. They could be holding crouch there. Kind of a crap position, but I have seen people do it. Right? And you got your bar. Right? Then you've got your door on here. And then you're going to want to slip for here again, because now that's open. And then you're coming around looking this way. Once you got that, you want to look here. Then you got your pool table. You got your crouch. Right? And then you got here. And then you got here. Usually this is forced. Right? And then you still haven't cleared out, like, the bar here yet. Right? But if they're in a bad position, or if you're last alive, whatever, here. Right? Playing here. playing here, sometimes playing a bit deep, waiting for sound, and then swinging. Some people play super aggressive right here, right? Some people play on off angle if they're ratting and they're listening for the lounge and they're pre-firing. I play a lot of the times right here because I can watch bathroom, pool, I can do pre-fires right away, shoot that, as you can see, on the main stairs, and I can contest here too, right? So, oh, another thing too, if you keep this soft, let's say you're attacking, and they got somebody playing kitchen, right? Fire some shots into kitchen. I was a little bit off to my right. But again, fire some shots into kitchen. Worst case scenario, you got guys coming from construction. They're trying to take kitchen. This dude's trying to be aggressive. He's like, oh, he ain't going to go that way. So he's going to push this way. He's going to be like, oh, right? Or he'll try to swing you, right? You pop that, don't get anything. You're ready. You're watching upstairs. You're watching this. You're watching down, right? Common angles for a lot of people don't know common angles, right? But when you play the game so long, when you're such a high level, when you play constantly, you get to know these angles. You get to know where these people. You might not know exactly where they are, but you know where they should be, you know. And half the time they're not even where they should be. So you're just looking for them. You know what I mean? And you're baiting shots through the wall. You're hoping, you know, for example, oh, there's an Ella in here with an impact. Oh, and she gets you on the wall. If you're just popping shots through, she's gonna be like, oh, and she might even go, okay, that guy's cheating, right? And all you're doing is just preventative measure, right? You haven't heard a whole lot going on red. There's not a whole lot of pressure on that wall. You might have a mirror if she's not banned in the bathroom, or a mute or a smoke or somebody playing gym clothes. And you're like, okay, somebody's running out here. You got to claim more, whatever. That's fine. You're not going to claim more this wall. Pop some shots through, because they might be like, oh, okay, that guy's cheating, or oh, okay, they got a cam on me. Somebody like, is there a drone? Whatever. I'm not taking this fight because it's too risky. And they run off, and then you live, right? So much of it is preventative measure. You don't want them to be somewhere, so you shoot in that general direction, and it makes them think, and they have to reposition. Another way, right? Come this way. Get this wall. No, it's already open. Anyways, if you come to the right side of the wall, let's say it's soft in construction, what I'll do is I will pre-fire there, and then I'll swing and I'll pre-fire the wall through there, because people are always holding head glitches here, waiting, and then pre-fired and they're dead, and apparently you're a cheetah. Again, where else are they gonna hide here? They're gonna hold this table. They're going to be crouched, or for whatever reason they might be here, but that's it. Maybe they're standing on this table for whatever reason, like with a hole into like the window or something. I don't know. But again, that's where they're going to be at. There's going to be a guy here contesting the window and garage and breach. There might be a mirror here. Somebody playing the stairs with barber lesions, whatever, right? There's like 7 spots for people to be in. You got a guy prone here watching garage, fighting this way. You got a zombies up here playing this. You know, pre-fire this, pre-fire this. Your Cade claws on 1 and 2, right? Some people get this position here that might have a shield, right? Another good pre-fire on defense. You can open this, right? And you can keep it soft, right? As you get somebody call out rafters. Look at that, right onto the top of the stairs at head height where they're going to be. Know your head heights, know your angles, know your pushes, talk to your team. You know. And when in doubt, if you're shooting through walls, worst case scenario is you're applying pressure and you're making them think. They might even think you're a cheater, and they're like, ah, okay, I ain't pushing that way. That guy's cheating. Cool. Now you don't got to worry about it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I know this is a long-winded video. I just wanted to give some thoughts. You know, tell The people who think I'm cheating, I'm not. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. There's a lot of muscle memory. There's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of clips with no wall bangs. There's a lot of clips of me dying, going for wall bangs where somebody follows my tracers and I die. Whatever, it happens. You're gonna die. It's Siege. And you're gonna rage, and you're gonna yell, and somebody's gonna say GN, and you're gonna want to strangle them, and you're gonna scream, and your team's gonna get upset because you're screaming, and then you're gonna slam, and then you're gonna scream even harder because now you killed them, and you guys are gonna scream at each other, and then everybody's gonna be text chatting, and nobody's gonna want to be playing because everybody's just gonna be screaming and writing, and that's Rainbow Six Siege. And then all of a sudden the cheater is just gonna run out, rage hack, and then just wallbang everybody from outside. Yeah, that's Rainbow Six Siege. That's why I quit the game a whole bunch of times, because it's just toxic. People are angry. The community's angry. Not for the most part. I think for the most part, people are pretty good. But a lot of people are toxic. And it's a game at the end of the day. Play it how you want to play it. Right? Planning on going to play Pro League, go play Pro League. If you want to stream, go stream. If you want to make videos, go make videos. If you want to wallbang, go wallbang. Put these tips into practice. You know, after watching this video, you're not going to instantly go wallbanging everybody every single match. I don't even wallbang everybody every single match. I might get, like I said, I might get none in an entire day just running these common spots. I might get 4. I might get 6. I don't know. It all depends. All depends how the game's played. Anyways, I love the game. I hate the game. I'm sure many of us are in that position. Yeah, so I hope this brings a little bit of clarity to what I do. Obviously, my content is going to slow down a little bit. I only have 2 or 3 out of my original videos that I still have to transfer into short form. That's why I was dropping like 40 a day, because some of them are really old, like from 6 months ago. You know, and so that's why it's been so, Another thing, sorry, before I go. Let's say you're in a gunfight, right? And you're like, oh, he peeked me and he's shooting. You cut and you whiff. Just keep on shooting. Pretend that wall is not there. The bullet does not know the wall is there. Right? The bullet's not going to see the wall and just run away. You know? You just keep on shooting. You see them, you whiff. Whatever you whiffed, we all whiffed. People whiff all the time. You know, I've whiffed 1,000 times just in this video. It is what it is. Siege. You know? You're like, oh, he's pushing head here, push, right? Slam. And half the times, as you're shooting through the wall too, like watch, let's say I'm gonna fight somebody here. The wall opens up as you are shooting, and just keep on shooting through it. Put pressure on this dude. If you don't put pressure on him, he is going to sit here in a lawn chair all day holding an angle, because that's all he's gonna do. He's not gonna rotate. He's just gonna plant his feet like he's in a glue trap. Put pressure on him. Make him duck. While he's ducking and trying to get an angle on you, right? You've been like, now you're in, right? Run in. He's still crouched. You're pushing, right? And you can push him, whatever, right? Shooting through walls is a benefit to you. Try it. Anyways, long video short, or a long video. Not short, a long video about my shorts, I guess. Anyways, yeah, have fun with the game. Try not to be too toxic. Don't take it so seriously. It's a game. I say this to myself too, because I get heated. Cheaters slam me all night. I get off. I get mad. It is what it is. This is Rainbow Six Siege. Anyways, that's it for me. If anybody has any questions or whatever, I know this is a long video. I know I said that 1,084 times, but it is what it is. I just wanted to show everybody what's up, give some tips, some pointers. This would have been a lot better edited, but my video editing didn't want to download and install today because apparently my key, I think, is outdated. So It's old video editing software, so I just use Metal for this. And just rambled and had you listen to me. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Sub if you want. Like if you want. Scream at me and call me a cheater if you want. That's cool. I get it enough in game, even though I'll say it again, I'm not. I hate cheaters. I get like 30 cheaters banned a month because I hate it. So yeah. Have fun. Peace out.